don't even bother with that, because I know what we're going to do now. What? No, we know one better. Hang on one second, folks. Let me catch my breath.
I'm not stepping on you again.
That's the best part about a live show, because you never know what's going to happen. But folks, for our next act, we're actually going to do something special. It kind of goes along the lines of what the old figures would do. Now, part of the festival, which roughly translates terms, and let me make sure that I get this right. It's the parade of pain, right? Roughly translated, it becomes the parade of pain. It's where the fakirs of India gather and put themselves through what are referred to as the 7 deadly torture. On the final day of this parade, we march down the street, impaled with different objects. Here in the show, we're going to come up with something that works along those lines, and actually involves a couple of different things. First, of course, there's one of our performers. That part will be played by me. Secondly, we have something else. It's called a statement gun. Standard issue, just like you find in any hardware. The final part of this act is called audience participation. That means each and every one of you get the opportunity to come up and take part in this act. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Yeah.
Now here's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. It's basically all about us trying to get our buck. But we're carnies and we try to get you guys your money's worth. So if you have one or five, you can come up and place it anywhere on my body that's exposed. So basically from here out. Now there are a couple of exceptions. First, of course, don't put it to the wrist. I kind of like my life, even though it is as a carny, I'd like to keep doing it. Secondly, not to the 8. I paid a lot of money for it, and even though it kind of came out crappy, I'd like to keep it in the best shape as I can. Finally, don't put it to the neck for the same reasons you don't do the wrist. Now, if you're a little bit bigger of a spender, I will let you put 10 or 20 straight to my forehead. Why? Because some people like to do that. And finally, if you're a really big spender and we've had a wonderful time at this con and you want to keep us performing, because after all this money does go to us, our travel fund keeps us going around town and around the country performing. You can put a 50 straight to my tongue, because my mouth hasn't been abused enough by the show. So folks, don't be shy. Don't be afraid. I know a lot of people don't think that we're really going to do this. So that's why sometimes we have to have a little bit of courage. Ivy, by chance, do you happen to have it? Actually, I have one, huh? No, you don't get to do it. Ivy gets to do it because that's how it's part of our therapy. Now, what I have here in my hand is a $1 bill. Ivy, are you ready? Oh, good. This is for the bed screws earlier. Come right on up, sir. Don't be afraid.
Do it. That's all he's talking.
Chest, back, arms, as long as it's not to the ankle, the wrist, or the neck.
You didn't let him get ready.
Now, folks, I know this might be a little bit of a disturbance. No flinching. It's money well spent. When else are you going to have an opportunity to do something like this? You can go home and tell your friends. Don't be afraid. Come right on up, folks. Forehead. You got a dollar. Forehead to the
Oh, he just wants to be like me.
You disturbing individual. Saw you how you had to throw in a little extra force, folks. That's fine. All right. You might let her have the camera, though. That way you can put it on. You're not the first one, and I hope you're not the last.
Ooh.
And there you go. Thank you so much. Now, if there's anyone else, don't worry, folks. Now everybody's coming up. There's one in the forehead, and they're like, oh, wait.
Well, if he isn't blind yet.
That's fine. At this point, do what you think I'm mind. I've already taken a bunch of them. That's kind of a little bit sensitive. I might feel that later. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anyone else that would like to get an opportunity to get in on something, as I said, think about it, folks. It's a memory that you will definitely have for the rest of your life. People are already looking at it like I'm insane. This is something you know, it's really good if I got it in the right place. I'm kind of getting to the see. Oh, not quite too high. It's always better to move something down when I talk. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess if there's no one else, I hope you enjoyed our show. And just think, we still got to do one more show tomorrow. We're pushing ourselves this much in 2 days. Oh, I don't even know what we're going to do for tomorrow. Folks, I hope you enjoyed our little show. Please stop by our booth, take a chance to pick up some of our amazing products. Of course, we're here with our medicine show, Epsilon's Elixir. We've also got Part6, one of the best things that ever come out of the steampunk community. It's a bag of candy with a chance to win all those great prizes in that trunk. We prefer to get rid of them instead of taking them home. I'm Marcus Epsilon. Of course, there's Ivy Epsilon and our wonderful Mad Jack. And last but not least, our wonderful pet, Connor Epsilon. Thank you.
Yeah.
That stuff. Come see it as well. Just $1.
Actually, I want my dollar back.
Hi, I'm Marcus Epsilon, and I'm, I guess you would say, the head of Carnival Epsilon, a steampunk sideshow. A lot of people know me better as Professor Epsilon, that goes along with some of the elements of the show, where we do the medicine show and Epsilon's elixirs. And as far as what I do, I am actually part of a dying tradition. I'm one of the few people that still carry on one of the oldest art forms that are actually considered a true American art form, and it's the art form known as the sideshow. And me and the rest of Carnival Epsilon traveled the country performing. I actually got my start in the industry of the sideshow. I was actually working for a gentleman as a engineer, I guess would be the best way to put it. I worked for his show, repairing props, working on his vehicles, basically maintaining the show. And a situation allowed it. One day he was looking for new performers. I knew a young lady who was interested in becoming part of the show, and I brought her out. And he auditioned her. She made a wonderful impression on him, and he added her to the cast. And then he turned to me and was like, you know, since you know her and you know how the show works and everything, how'd you like to be a part of it? And at first I was kind of apprehensive. I didn't really know what to do. And I thought about it for a second, and with a little poking from Roxanne, I decided to become part of the show. And a couple weeks later, I did my first show, and at the time, I just started, so I had a few acts. Most of them kind of led to the steampunk thing, where it was a lot of fancy boxes that had blinky lights and a lot of sleight of hand and things. And then things began to progress, and I started picking up new acts. I started learning fire eating, working on sword swallowing. And then, of course, everyone always asks, what about the light bulb? Where did that come in? And that's actually one of the funny stories about the show. I actually started doing it because many of the acts take a lot of time. It usually takes a couple of months to build a prop, have the act that goes behind it, practice it. So you have this long, drawn-out process.